Yes, thank you. We are here and we are of service to be able to provide you the information you are seeking from us once again today. We understand and we want to reassure you, Erin, that we will not be scolding you and telling you off for other people's questions because, as we were saying earlier through this vessel, you are of service to be able to collect the information and queries and ponderments that many have to be able to give us these questions so we can support and be able to give them the bigger perspective. And as you know, not everyone wants the answers to their complaints because once they get the answers to their complaints, what do they do then next? When their identity is their complaints, they're not used to and not wanting to have a new identity. This is why they hold their labels and their uh, uh, belief systems of self so close to their chest. They love their identities. They love their identities of being um, or disempowered is a very kind way for us to explain why there are so many that are holding on to their inner work because this is what they know about themselves. This has given them attention, reward systems, and the support that they have needed to try to uh, function and cope in this world. So we have distracted ourselves. We have lots to say, as we always do. But please continue on asking the questions, and we will be giving you our biggest perspective. And for those who desperately need to know who we are the Turian Collective. And there are also Palladian collectives here helping us today and any other collectives that are supporting their star seeds and their family who are on this planet at this time who are also listening in. And they want to say, we see you, we hear you, we are here to support you and encourage you. And we know that you know that we are talking to you. And so there is a message for everyone here. So please continue.
Thank you for being here and your ongoing patience and bigger perspective. This is going to be redundant, but can you once again confirm that 5D is not a state of mind while on this earth, but an actual physical planet where Gaia and those who choose to raise their vibration will be going to?
Mhm. So people can start having the bigger mindset, what you could say is the fifth dimensional mindset. It is the baby steps, it's the bigger picture, it is having more compassion and love to others rather than being triggered and reactive to their interactions with you. So if you must at a stretch, we can say some of you have a fifth dimensional mindset at times, but physically, absolutely, you are still in the 3D. And what you say to us when you say, well, where is the fourth dimension? And we say that is not a physical dimension, it is time and information. So therefore, we are saying to you once again, to those who are still trying to process this and need more information from us, this planet has decided to use her free will to reincarnate into a different vehicle. And while you are only aware of the small pollutions and issues that this planet is having right now, the reality is, it is not in her life contract to be healed, to be rejuvenated, and to continue on. The consciousness of the planet you have been living on this lifetime, and potentially many other lifetimes, is she has chosen now to be able to graduate from the third dimension, from her consciousness, and she wants to go and embody a fifth dimensional planet and have those experiences. It is not her upgrading this body this body will be left behind. This body, you could say, like your carbon-based bodies, will be left here to be dealt with in another time and matter. And so the fifth dimension, the new earth, after this shift, many people are going physically to go and expand and experience their fifth dimensional lives on this new planet, which has been designed for the evacuation of this planet, as they knew she was going to decide to do this over trying to uh, evolve her body here and now into the fifth dimension. It was too dense. She was not able to be able to transmute that to do it. We would say you would be trying to put, we're trying to find the right analogy. If you imagine a rotten apple, and that is the analogy of this planet, and then you're trying to upgrade the apple with a candy coating, you could see that the candy coating is a different dimension, a different layer, but the stability of the core is rotten. We know that this is not the most ideal analogy, because most people just eat the candy and don't eat the apple. But we are trying to help those people understand that there are cycles. There is creations and destruction cycles all the time. This is natural. This planet had hoped to have evolved naturally in the vehicle she is. It was change of plans for many various reasons. The density of this planet cannot continue on. It is not stable anymore, and she has made her mind up. And while there are some that would like to think, I will just create my reality and I choose not to believe this and I do not want to have this narrative, good luck with you and your ego and your 3D perception of what's going on. Humanity, and all of the beings here on this planet are hosts, are being hosted, shall we say, to this planet. She is servicing you, not the other way around. We have fumbled over our words, so we want to repeat this again. She's having her own experience being a planet. Those who are on her surface and having their experiences on her are her guests. However, she would like to relocate into a new body, a new location for her own growth and experiences. You cannot, what is the right word that you would understand? There's a word that we could use and we're trying to scan for it. It doesn't matter. The analogy is you cannot stay here when she has gone for very long, because like any bodies, you know that after the soul is removed, the life force is removed. It is not a living vessel anymore, and it is like living on a dead carcass, shall we say. And so it is very much a different location. It is very much a different planet physically. The soul is going to be the same, but she is graduating and evolving, and she is welcoming all who can match her frequency and vibrations to shift along with her. This is a very big job. This is why all of the councils and collectives are here in their crafts to be able to assist with the evacuation. It was always hoped that humanity itself would be able to evolve naturally with her, but there has been so many distractions and so much density and so much manipulation to keep you dense and distracted that is virtually impossible for humanity to get to that point, because they are almost stubborn to hear and learn new things. They do not want to think for themselves. They want to just trust others. And this has been programmed into them at a very early age, that they are nothing, they know nothing, and that they must follow the leader through peer pressure and to feel small within themselves. And this is one of the many agendas to disempower people from the get-go, and all beings from the get-go to some degree. So we hope that this has been able to give you another perspective of the information that we want all of our starseeds to know, so they can understand their senses, their newfound energies, their new feeling of their bodies, their new drive and thirst to relocate or find a new job. They've got this anxious energy that they need to do something new, to be of service for some reason. Their vibration energy is so it's so much more faster that they get confused and think it's anxiety. They sort of feel out of sorts and they don't quite know why. They're not able to sleep as much because they are being needed to be consciously here to hold their frequency and vibrations to help the collectives that are on this planet. There is so much going on for us to know that there are many people who say that they're spiritual and have really no sense of the bigger picture here. This is a stepping stone that they need to step into now, because there is not much time for you to prepare to put away and unpack and heal and release all of the 3D trauma and drama that you are still holding on to potentially in your mindset and in your bodies from this lifetime and all the other lifetimes you have lived on this planet.
Thank you so much for that very detailed explanation, crystal clear. I really appreciate that. I have a separate question about, air quotes, influencers who say that we have to cut all ties with 3D Earth in order to ascend, and that is the reason why we have not done so already. Can you comment on that?
It is what we have just said about you must heal from your 3D. You must get to a balance. You must not hold on to the lower density emotions and be able to find your neutral and balance, and to be able to see things from the bigger perspective, to be able to love yourself so much that you are then able to support others who are still in fear, worry, doubt, distrust, and unable to connect with themselves so fully that they are still keeping small.
And what is holding those people back from loving themselves and others right now?
What they've been trained to do, what they have been always felt that they are wrong. The education has not nurtured or encouraged or supported the intuitive. The education system have been designed to disempower humanity. The health systems have been designed to disempower humanity. All systems have been designed to disempower you. And so when you're awakened, you're crawling yourself out and away from all of those systems. So it is very challenging to realize that all is an agenda to disempower you. And then when you try to awaken and try to tell others, they are so with the stream that you are a salmon and everyone's going one way and you're trying to go the other way. And you're trying to take as many people with you, but they're saying, the fisherman is that way, don't do it. And you're saying, but there is freedom. There is a lake. We can live free and not be farmed. Again, this may not be the right analogy, so we are sorry. But we're saying when you awaken up, you suddenly go against the stream of narrative, of information and direction that they are herding humanity to go to. And once you awaken up, you want to get out of the water, if you are that salmon, and actually do something else. And then we know that that analogy is completely wrong because salmon don't walk out of the water.
I love your analogies. I thought that was pretty good. I understand what you're saying. There have been a lot of questions and confusions about dreams, and I guess I'll just have a broad question, which is, do we need to understand and analyze the dream that we have in order to release the negative emotions and baggage from those experiences?
The veil is thinning, and we are giving you those dreams to remember, to trigger you in your waking hours, for you to be able to have such a profound experience where it's not your, in quotation marks, daily life, but a dream that has impact. You have emotions from that dream, and you recall things. So this is us helping you, push you, nudge you to be able to release the 3D experiences from other lifetimes, and potentially this lifetime. So you're experiencing something that may be very uncomfortable or peculiar, and for you to be able to heal from it and have compassion. All of the feelings that you have for your dreams are purposeful, and as you are releasing and surrendering into that experience, you're actually healing that experience, and that ripples out so you can be lighter emotionally. It also is making people think for the very first time, was that me? Was that another version of me? Have I had other lifetimes? That's not really real, but yet it wasn't my body, it wasn't my family, but I resonated with that scene. I felt like it was home of sorts. And those people that I was having dreams with, I've never seen them in this lifetime, but yet I loved them, or I fed them, or there was some other connection there. And so we're giving you pieces of the puzzles for you to be able to question so much. All of the dreams that you're remembering do have purpose, even though you may not be able to know about it from our perspective of the details and the ins and outs of those lifetimes. It is to overcome those feelings and to start making you think and remember who you are. Remembering now all of who you are and who you have been. And we're asking you now to allow yourself to start accessing those memories, to be able to heal and release all of those experiences that are still holding you back. It is time for you now to release, surrender, and heal. They do not serve you anymore, and you have grown, and you choose to allow this lifetime for what is impacting you and how you're responding. And the best way to heal your past is to love your present day now and your future, and to love all who are in your life, to be able to accept that they're on their journey, to love who you are, what you know, and your passion and drive to learn for more, to expand more, to be open to more, knowing you can trust yourself because you love yourself, and you know you're not being fooled to go on the mainstream of anything anymore. You're not following anyone else's narrative but yourself, because you've spent time within yourself, and you know your gut intuition, you know your instinctions, you know you more than you ever have now, ever before. And so we keep asking you again and again, this is now time. This is now time to surrender and open and be open to all, and to understand that this is a significant time for humanity and this planet. And we are calling on you now to remember.
Thank you. Is there anything that we can be doing to better ease in or accept that process by surrendering? Do you have any suggestions, like meditation on it or anything like that?
Before you jump up out of your sleep and rush around, allow yourself to stay in that bed without opening your eyes, and try to remember the lessons and the dreams you just experienced. That will keep it in your short-term memory, and then slow down. Make sure you're only using your energy and your daily focus on the things that are of the uttermost importance. And we are saying, from our perspective, you are the most important of all. And until you have done all of your inner work and empowered yourself to love yourself completely, to heal yourself completely, there is nothing more important than that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Last question about dreams. Are the light workers training for different upcoming roles that we'll be having while we are sleeping?
Yes, there are many that are working on the ships and preparing on the ships. So they are sleeping more than they normally have been. And they're sensing that they don't have any dreams because they are very much of service and duty. So they are preparing everything and they are of service. They are helping with the light bodies. They are getting everything prepared. They are very, 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 very busy with meetings to organize and facilitate all who need to be uplifted at certain points in time and location. There is much that is going on behind the scenes in many people's sleep state. So there is so much that is happening. And for those who are finding that they're not sleeping much at all, is because their service right now is to hold the higher frequency of this planet that we are sending down, and you are of service. There is so much that we could say here.
Would you like to expand, or are you? I think that's very exciting. Very exciting.
So there are people who are aware of this role and still think it's a bit strange that they're having these dreams that seem very real. But it is time for them to realize you're not dreaming. You are not dreaming, and you can remember that now.
Wonderful. Thank you. Next topic was worldwide events. I'm wondering how the worldwide freedom rallies over the last weekend has affected the timeline that we are in.
Unity. They are seeing more and more people are standing up, and it is giving them a feeling of unity. It is giving them a sense of community. It is giving them a sense of pride that they are wanting to be part of the solution, to be able to share their beliefs and knowledge, knowing that they do know the truth and they are not willing to continue going down the narrative that humanity has been force-fed into. There is great joy and heightened excitement seeing each other stand up in unity. Everyone is kind in those rallies because they know the truth, but they are not willing to take it anymore. They know maybe just this one truth, or they may know all of the truths that have been hidden from them. But this is connection. They are vibing high from each other because they are so glad that they're not the only ones. They feel important. They feel significant, and they feel connected. And that has risen their collective consciousness experience and vibration so well because they have been part of that movement. They have been a collective, and we've been able to heal them energetically and made their souls soar, their vibrations rise high. They are so passionate to be heard, and they're so passionate to be together. It is a beautiful thing to have helped humanity. And so, yes, it has helped and empowered many who have felt so disempowered for over this last year. This has given them a sense of voice. This has given them a sense of belonging and connections. And this is so purposeful for exactly what they needed. So it is all as it needs to be, and it all has it has raised the vibration so much that the density kind of was purged out of it. This is so purposeful for the land that they're doing these demonstrations on, as well as for the people. It is very profound, the locations where these were occurring, very healing, very purposeful in many, many ways.
Amazing. That's wonderful. And the last session that you had with Carrie, you mentioned that the person who was running the show has since considered pulling the plug on the internet because they wanted to stop the empowerment of the people and the unity that has been seen worldwide now. And I was curious, who's running the show?
Well, it is a small group of beings who feel that they are entitled to do as they please. They think that they are here to be served by humanity, and they demand a lot. They are very entitled. And so they have lots of control at their disposal. And so they haven't ever considered that they would need much more than their questionable of ethics, agendas, and systems. They have been following their own control systems and the belief that they have trumped everyone into being disempowered. This is very surprising to them that there is this revolution now that is not following their directives, because they can't see how possibly you could have woken up to what is going on. And this is more than they have expected, and they have sensitized and given censorship to many bigger speaking people to be able to shut them up. And they thought that would be enough, because once you ostracize one person, humanity has an interesting way of belittling them forever. And it is not working anymore. They can't use peer pressure to ostracize others, which is strange for them because they have gotten away with it for so long. So they are on the back foot, and they don't quite know what to do with themselves because they were so confident in their systems that they kept saying it's foolproof for them to succeed. And now, unfortunately for them, it looks like they're the fools.
We, the people, have had it. So all of those worldwide protests, very exciting to see. So that was wonderful. Are we currently witnessing a weather war? I know that the flooding is serving a bigger purpose, but are we also witnessing that?
We would not use the word war, but there is manipulation, and there is reactions to energy and density. And this is part of what is started. The shift has already started, and it is going to just continually ramp up. And so this is the beginning of the end. So the war is not as such. This is the unraveling energetically, and you're seeing signs where the body of the vehicle is giving up. Humans know that you've got a bunch of organs, and when those vital signs start crashing, it is just a matter of time. Not many humans are aware of the vital signs of a planet, but we are saying these are all signs for us and to all who are observing the failings failures, the decline, and the receding consciousness of the planet no longer feeding into certain areas. She is receding, she is releasing herself energetically from the body. And this does take time because she is a large being. And this is a gradual thing, which is going to continue with your time moving forward. And so there is some weather manipulation, but we are allowing this to occur because it is making people stay inside, and it is making people start thinking more about themselves and nurturing themselves. They're being triggered to go within. And we see this as a very positive experience for them that way.
Okay, thank you. Are the floodings partially due to the destruction and therefore demolition and flooding of the deep underground military bases?
That is a consequence of those floodings, but as you know, with the high vibrational memory, clearing and energy that the water is having now, it is a profound healing. It is a cleansing that has only been seen a few times on this planet before. It is a big reset. This is opportunities for many to take exit points, including animals, plants, and beings. And so, yes, what you may discover, which is going to be surfaced from the underground, would surprise many. But it is about the healing and cleansing of this planet. We would like to say there are some cultures that wash the body as they are preparing the body for its incineration or destruction after the death. And so we're saying, yeah, this is what the flooding is representing.
Okay, thank you. We noticed the Schumann residence was blacked out today, I believe, and we're wondering why.
We are hiding our energy. We are not wanting to reveal what's going on from us. And we know that those instruments do read our frequency. And so we are working busy, remembering that everyone can hear us and see us and our frequency. And so we do things to just be a little bit more secret for those who are trying to look for signs. But ultimately, that is the biggest sign that lots of things are happening behind the scenes.
It feels like it. It
Indeed.
feels like it for sure. Okay, next question was, I know timelines are in flux, and this is a topic we bring up a lot, but is there a more solid outline of events that will happen, or is that still to be determined?
From this perspective, we're looking down the end of the timeline to its completion, and it looks pretty set for us from this perspective, because we have gone through all the scenarios and options and the way forward. The most probable line that you want to say is very pleasing to us for the bigger perspective of experiences. So this is the one that we would like to continue on and to be able to see unfold as it necessarily and so significantly needs to.
Are you able to give us any details, or are we not ruining the movie?
We've already over-explained the details of it, but as you know, the planet is evacuating because the body is falling apart, shall we say. And so because she is reincarnating, so if you can use your imagination to understand what that would look like for the death of a planet and an evacuation of a planet, you've got all of the answers within you.
Okay. Have mass inoculation deaths already begun, but are currently being suppressed by the media?
Well, that's what the media does. It suppresses information, truth, and knowledge. And that is why you are having people stand up and share their truth. So yes, it is very much the case. Remembering that all of those exit points have been approved by all of the spiritual teams of those people for very significant purposes. And so we can confirm that this has been the case for a while. And you also know that people have been shifting with the illusion of their death, knowing that there is no death. Really, it is just merely changing one vehicle to another. And so they are wanting to be in a different dimension to be able to help and be of service at this time, releasing their 3D bodies and releasing their identity so they can return once again back to their higher being selves to be of service in that capacity.
Okay, thank you so much. There was a post on the Facebook page that was very popular. It was about people reporting about dreams of Isis. And so I wanted to see if you had any comment about the Anunnaki coming back to take over Gaia while she is still incarnated here.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why people are so connected to Isis is because they had lifetimes with her, which was very traumatic in many ways, and it did change the it did change humanity from that perspective quite a lot from that point. And so they are having dreams of her to be reminded of that time, of those lives, and the significance of maybe the trauma of the battles that were happening and the cruelty that man would have on itself. There is big lessons there. And so all those people that need to be able to release and heal from those lifetimes in Egypt and other areas. This really does stem back to the Atlantean and the Lemurian bigger time experiences. So it's all connected, all very much connected. And as Isis would like to remind everyone who has not listened to her coming into one of our sessions previously, she was supposed to help evolve humanity. This is what she wanted to do to be of service. And she got sidetracked by partly her ego and also trying to understand how she could rule beings that were a little bit out of hand and control. So she was very firm with her ruling and wanting to be a positive influence. And while she was to some degree, some of her more tough did impact more people than she was ideally wanting. So she understands that that rippled out and has impacted. She did want to empower the feminine energy on this planet because they were so downtrodden. So she wanted to empower and have more equal respect for all because there was just that basic, profound disrespect and disequality of the different agendas. There was much that she wanted to help with, and for some part of it, she was successful. She did want to bring in the divine feminine. There's so much that she did try to do, but like any big influences, they are still very human and they have their own quirks and approaches that can clash on others. And so her bigger message has sort of been lost. But those who have had lifetimes with her still love her and honor her and respect her because she was a very positive influencer. Um, but the things she wanted to be remembered by all has been lost in translation and in memory. And so uh, she is she is feeling responsible for the things that got misunderstood and mistranslated. So she is trying to get into the conscious minds of those through dreams to try to trigger them to be healed, because she realizes that she can still have a part to play to help humanity at this time. So she has many helpers doing that to be able to heal and release those people who are still holding on to trauma. And so she's diligently working with her teams to be able to do that. She also knows that there are people who still love and worship her here on this planet. And she knows that their true message is about equality, love, and being bold with your approaches to be able to better humanity. And she knows that it is challenging, and she also sees how dense the planet is since she was here. So she has embodied a few beings from time to time to be able to sense and feel the energy of this planet so she can personally experience that. Um, and so she is wanting to say that she knows that she has been part of the problem and also part of the solution. And she is saying she is of great service to humanity. And she's not saying that from her ego, but because she can see the ripple effects of empowering others through sharing her messages and her insight and wisdom through dream.
Beautiful. Thank you. We touched on this slightly. I've started to notice that the trees are shedding their leaves, which is odd in 95 degrees in the summertime. So have trees, other greenery, plants, and animals, have they already started departing?
Yes, they have been shifting for quite some time. Also, the fires have been a great exit point for them to be able to look like there is that destruction. So many beings need these natural disasters to give them an excuse to have exit points to be able to ascend themselves, to transcend, to reform, and to move and shed away from this density.
I see. Um, is there anything that we can do right now to help Gaia besides the sound healing sessions and sending her our love and appreciation?
Respecting her contract, many people are still kind of pissed off with her, and don't really, once they realize that this is her free will, they want to hold her back because they're not finished with their lives. And she's wanting them to know, pardon me, but I am finished with mine. And we know that no one should be afraid of death because it's simply a cycle. And for those who have not fully completed their life missions and experiences, they get to do that on a different planet. But she has been patient, more than patient, but she can hear those people who are wanting to hold her back, who are trying to send her healing, to ask and convince her and beg with her to stay longer, stay longer, stay longer. When you know the trauma and the profound pain of being the host to all of you, you would realize that was probably one of the most selfish things that you could do and ask, because you're not respecting her contract, you're not respecting her body and her consciousness. We understand that in a 3D mindset and bodies, you have different priorities, which is yourselves. And we know that we have said to empower yourselves and love yourselves. And you would not want anyone else to um, disempower your choices. And remembering that right now you can't remember your choices of why you came here and why you signed up for these life contracts. And we say we do. We remember why you came down here. We remember why you wanted to be here and all the things that you needed to experience and do while you're here. So you can trust us if you want that everything is finely balanced to make sure that we can get all experiences for all beings the best we can before we run out of what you perceive as time.
Thank you. I understand. There were a few questions about during the shifts themselves, when our energetic body leaves our carbon-based body. One question was, will it hurt? The other question was, will family units be placed together on the ships if they're all going to the same destination?
All destinations, you go on the same ships, yes. We're not really a multi drop-off point Uber service, shall we say. We take you directly to where you need to go. Of course, there are many that need to go home to different planets because they were simply here to help. So they are returning to their own planets. There are people that are going to different 3D planets. And then, of course, those who do not need any shuffling because they're going straight to source. So they are returning and not needing their energy. They're not needing the crystalline or the energetic bodies anymore, as they are completely returning their consciousness to the collective of source. So yes, we understand that everyone's worried about when and where and how. And we're saying that you just need to focus on loving yourself and keeping balanced and appreciating the bodies you have now and appreciating the moments you have now with your friends and family and with yourself because time will be short and you will not get to be able to do all the things that you're assuming you will be able to do in this short time that we have left here. We're not trying to trigger you or worry you. We're trying to let you know to be more focused with your small daily routines. This is our advice to you, but you have free will to do as you choose.
Thank you. Thank you for that advice. There have been so many amazing bits of information that you've given us recently, along with the ongoing wisdom and fantastic guidance. This is my last question. Are there any closing comments that you would like to say at this time?
I would like to say those people who are reaching out on social media platforms, they're either of service to help others or they are trying to get help for themselves. So they're crying out for help. Be able to learn the difference between someone who's trying to empower someone and for them to be trying to get empowerment of self. Remembering that most people are still profoundly hurt and confused because they have been still going down other people's stream of narrative conversation. They haven't stopped and thought for themselves and connected in with themselves because they have given their power away to other influences or other systems that don't have their best interests at heart. And so we're saying to those people, take the time out for you. Be alone with you just for a little bit. If you're feeling like you don't want to be alone with yourself because you are avoiding yourself, you must do it even more so. Be comfortable with who you are. Be comfortable with what you think and feel and what comes up in your daily lives, because these are also very important opportunities for you to heal and release from. And this is why we would prefer many to not be distracted. Sometimes social media can distract you from yourselves. And while you're seeking support and love and attention from others, this is what you could be using your time for, to give to yourself, rather than hoping that other people will see you. It is very important for you to understand your motives, what you are doing, ask yourself all the time, what is my agenda here? Why am I approaching it this way? Why do I need to do things this way? Is it something that I'm seeking of others that I could provide for myself? And I want to remind you that the best things in life are free because it is about love. And the love frequency is pure, and you all should be trying to seek it. Because when you have the life approach and the bigger mindset of love, you are the richest beings on this planet.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We know that you are of diligence and of service. And we know that you feel the pain of many. And this is the challenge for many empaths because they see their friends, they see their families lost and confused, holding on to old belief systems and old narratives from people that they have trusted. You are deeply wounded who have people who've trusted and their trust has been broken. And you know that people are clinging on to any information. And so they blindly trust the influences, even of the spirituality world. And you have felt frustrated because you're realizing that there is nothing sacred in the world anymore. And so you have struggled with that because you see good people regurgitating false information that is not from us.
I struggle with that big time. This should be sacred. If someone is going to use the term Arcturian collectives said, blah, 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 then it needs to be what actually was said. So yes, right, that is my frustration. I will work on that myself. Profound respect to Joe and any other medium, or what is the other term? Channeler, who is true, with a true heart and true intentions.
Well, they've got to do their own inner work first. And there is many that feel that they are holding themselves back because they're afraid. They're afraid to look at their own behaviors. They're afraid to see things from the bigger perspective. They're so distracting themselves with being influences of others that they're neglecting themselves. And we also want to say, for those people who are staying on the old earth, we could force them to listen to all our sessions and we could read the book to them and they will still not be able to hear it or process it. So be mindful of who you're actually responding to and focus on the people who do get it because they need acknowledgement that they are on the right path. And sometimes you can get distracted with the squeaky wheel who is broken and is going to be left behind versus the advanced beings who you are aware of, who are sharing their truth, their wisdom and understanding. So when you are feeling bogged down by those people who are completely lost, because it's purposeful for them to be lost because they need to experience the old earth, find those bigger beings who are of balance and of true service and acknowledge them because that will instantly lift your vibration.
Absolutely. Yep. Big lesson today. I absolutely understand what you say, and I will do that.
We just want to remind you, Erin, that you don't want us to give you the answers truly. You are so stubborn still with your spirituality, and this is your in your subconscious. You actually want to learn this and master this yourself. So you are so frustrated that you've been led down garden paths wrong before that you want to master and overcome this yourself. So even though sometimes you're like, just give me a hint, just tell me more. We are saying we're giving you exactly what you want, and that is empowerment to learn and grow from this information yourself diligently. You really would be pissed off with us, shall we say, if we told you what you were seeking fully, because you're wanting to have the experience of it. You're loving this experience. You are so happy with how you are coping and thriving with this information and applying it, because you do have this drive to be top. And this is nothing wrong because you have got such a astute, now you've got such astute approach to the higher truth that nothing else seems to resonate with you because of how you're feeling intuitively. And so now that you know your path, because you've been seeking and asking us to show you the path, now you have it. Now you are to master it and to share it. And this is going to give you the greatest joy because you are a natural leader, but you've been bothered, that you have been given wrong information to lead. And this is part of the frustrations you have with the disconnect of your family and friends.
Yes. And well, that does sound like me. So I believe that I was stubborn and wanted to learn it this way. So that rings true for sure. I've been struggling with the new energies.
Yeah.
It's I
was
go ahead.
is through the vehicle was that you're misdiagnosing yourself as anxiety. And we were saying that's not what it is. It is excitement. It is high frequency vibration that is so strong. Your body and your mind is thinking, oh, something new is happening to me. It must be bad. And that is your 3D mindset kicking in fear. And that is normal. It is natural. But we're saying to you, there is no anxiety truly within you. You've got a astute mind that is trying to figure out very complex scenarios. So you are excited and very energized to process this information and digest it. But your body is advancing so fast, it feels that it's out of balance. And we're saying the more energetically you grow, the more density that you can hold. And so it is important for you to walk barefoot and to drink lots more water. We understand that you do like to numb your mind because you are such an overachiever with your thoughts in your day. And we say that is fine, you can do that, but your body would like you to naturally relax without the stimulation of alcohol.
Okay, I understand. So with the bigger energetic body, I'm able, I just want to see if I get this right. I'm soaking up more dense energy and need to transmute it through walking on the ground.
Yes, as you get the bigger mindsets, you're expanding your consciousness, which is an energy field. So you're sensing more things around you. This is why you're suddenly noticing trees that are releasing themselves. You would not have noticed that before. So you are expanding your awareness of all your surroundings.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, subconscious. You're the best.
Well, you're the best because you're doing something that is tremendous that most people are failing at. And we know that you're wanting to empower those because you have known how hard this journey is. Therefore, you want to be of service to help them and to be saying, my friend, I understand what you are saying because of other people's belief systems. I have found the truth and I want to share it with you. And we understand it sounds like you are selling a religion or a product, but we do not sell our information. This vehicle does not get any money from our information. You know, she gave the book for free. She doesn't get any revenue from the services. So for those people who are still thinking she has an ulterior motive, that is your projection and worry and concern.
Right. So much respect for Joe. So much. I have heard and will continue to listen to this session because it takes a while for me to soak up all that you are saying. Is there anything else that I can be doing either better or that I'm not doing right now? Because yes, as you know, I have pure intentions and I want to step up.
Everyone's doing the best that they can. Whatever they can manage, they're doing the best that they can. And so when you know that you are thinking you could do more, that is an opportunity for you to see and expand and be aware of that. As soon as you start questioning, can I be doing more? Then we say, well, they're asking for more, we'll give you more. Some people hear this and think, I'm never going to ask or do a question ever again. I don't want more, I'm done. And we say that is your choice and your free will. But ultimately, you all want to absorb and apply all this information. The more you grow with each session, the more you can go back and hear bigger information that we have been sharing for all this time through this channel and through these sessions. So now you can hear things from the bigger perspective. It is like a whole new world of information that is waiting for you to explore back. So if you're wanting to be able to get the bigger perspective of all this other information that was plainly available for you, but it wasn't the right time, we're giving you more access to that now. And of course, we are giving you the most appropriate sessions to be placed in your way for you to discover and find it. Nothing is accidental. It is all very purposeful. So once you are aware of all these little signs and signals, which you are getting now, this will be us nudging you, but of course you are in control of your free will. And we say you're doing such a good job. Keep going.
Thank you. Thank you. I will. Appreciate you.